everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Reading Lounge, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. So this is a brief intro to the vlog. So in this video, I am going to be doing a reading vlog. I am reading this book right here, The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. It is my very first or maybe second or third contemporary romance. I don't tend to read a lot of contemporary romances or even to be drawn to them. I do have a few, but nothing has compelled me to pick them up. So this is really the first contemporary romance I have read in like years. So I'm going to be telling you what I think about this book. Also, this video is going to include a lot of lifestyle because I am working out so much. I'm going to be doing a little self-care in this video. Also, I think I filmed one segment of the vlog during July 4th, and so you'll see a little bit of that. I did have the day off, and I did visit a neighboring area, like within my surrounding area, and I did go into a new bookstore. If you've been watching my videos, you guys know I do not prefer to shop at like new bookstores like Barnes and Nobles or any other like new bookstore. I really love my used bookstore. So I love to show love to my used bookstores because I love a good, well loved, but in good condition, okay, used book. But I did purchase a few books from a bookstore that were loosely or on like my wish list. So I'm going to be sharing that as well. So I hope you guys enjoy the vlog. And so with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and let the footage roll. All right, so let's talk about this contemporary romance that I have been reading. So I am reading The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. And I've read contemporary romances in the past. Well, not very many. I only can think of maybe one or two. I need to look at my Goodreads. But the last contemporary romance I think I read was by Alyssa Cole. It is a series, which I did not know at the time, but I do have book 3. I couldn't find book 2, but I really enjoyed that series. And so, yeah, as you can see, I really don't read a lot of contemporary romance. So first impressions of this book, I love the email correspondence back and forth. I guess that would be considered mixed media. So I love that. And actually the book that I read did have email communications as well. So that's one thing that I learned that I like, the email correspondence. That's how this book starts off. This is about Lily and Nick. Lily actually contacts her favorite author, which is Nick, but she does not know at the beginning of this book. And I think his name is N.R. Strickland or something like that. He is the author of her favorite book series. She goes to his website and writes to her favorite author, not expecting anything in return. When lo and behold, Nick, he does respond. The email correspondence back and forth. I'm not spoiling anything because it's on the back of the book. And then maybe after 8 or 9 months after these emails, he ghosts her. And so the book goes on from there, you know, just following Lily in her life, which is a editor for a book publishing company of nonfiction, which she does not really enjoy. Her dream is editing or working in children's books. I'm not sure if it says what Nick is doing. It doesn't on the back of the book, so I'm not going to reveal that, but he's not writing anymore. He's gone off into another field. And now like I'm deep into the book, like 100 and well, let's just say 200 pages into the book. This is what I think about this book so far. I think it's perfect for a beach read. Now this is a black author. This is a black author, so her characters are black. So this is supposed to be a black romance, but for, you know, to me, it does not feel authentic to a black romance. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm thinking a little too deeply. That's just how I am. I always analyze everything. That's just how I am. It's been very easy to read. I haven't really gotten bored because I'm just going along with the story. It's not like a boring story, so I am somewhat enjoying the book. But right now, as it stands, 200 pages in, it's not anything special. Will I continue to book number 2 and 3? Maybe. I need to think about it. I probably will let you guys know after I finish the book, but this book is bordering 400 pages, and I feel like 400 pages is just too long of a book for the book not to have any like real substance. If I'm going to read a romance book, black romance, I want it to have some substance to it. And so far it's just kind of surface, a little bit of surface. Yeah, the characters are not really complex. Maybe Nick is more complex than Lily is. Lily, she's trying to find her way as a 20, I think she's 26. She's still shy, working in a job that is going nowhere. So, you know, while I don't like or hate the character, her character is not anything to be admired. You know what I mean? Like, Nick, he's a little bit more complex because he does have some background as far as, you know, his mom and dad, how he was raised. And that plays a major role on how he sees like relationships and things like that. So he's more complex, I would say, than Lily so far in the book. But it's not giving me anything like special. It's not giving any substance. Based on this book, you know, if this is how she writes her books, I'm not interested. I may or may not continue the series after I finish this book, which I will let you guys know if I want to continue with. Anyway, so today is July 4th and I may go walking and afterwards I may just lay by the pool. Can't really go out of town because I do have to work tomorrow. But yeah, today is just a chill day for me. Stay tuned to whatever else I decide to get into. See Books A Million. So I'm trying to figure out if I should go in there to see what type of big book sale that they've got. Because it says it has a big book sale going on. And so I wonder if they've got any books that I would be interested in. Okay, y'all, so I am back home. I really did enjoy my July 4th. I really had a really chill, relaxing day. I did everything that I wanted to do. As you saw, I was out and about, which came with spending just a little bit of money. Sometimes when I do have like the weekend or weekend off, I do like to explore like other cities around me that may be further out, like 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour out, just to visit a new city. So while I was in a city that I've been to before, but I don't frequent the city a lot. I came across a shopping center that had a Books a Million in there. So I saw the sign, big book sale. And so I went in. Now I did just come off a book 3-month book buying ban. Most of these books were on my wish list. 3 of them were not, and I will show those to you. So I spent $62 or $63 on these books, and I do have some more books that I want to show you from like my Amazon wish list that should be, the last book should be coming in. It's not a whole lot of books. Most of those books specifically were on like my Amazon wish list, like during the 3 months that I was not buying books. And so I didn't get all of them, but I put a lot of books back, or, delayed purchasing a lot of those books because it's not pressing. I don't have to have those books right here and now. So let me stop talking and show you guys what I bought from Books a Million. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the books that were on my wish list first. Okay, so I purchased this one by Zora Neale Hurston. This is Their Eyes Were Watching God. I paid only full price for one book, and then one book was $17. So you might as well say I paid full price for 2 books, but I didn't realize that other book was $16.95 or $17, but it is what it is. So this one was $18, and the reason why I said, you know what, forget it, I'll go ahead and buy it is because of this beautiful cover. So this is Their Eyes Were Watching God. So of course I didn't see any books that I really wanted on my wish list that were part of the 50% sale. I immediately went to not immediately because I don't really know the layout of the store. I really don't visit this store too much, if at all. I was drawn to the classic section. So I saw this cover and I've always wanted to get the actual book. Of course, I've seen the movie like years and years ago when I was really young and probably did not know what was going on in the movie and didn't get what I needed to get from the movie because I was so young. This has always been a book that I wanted to get. And I saw this cover and I was like, and it's in paperback, my favorite. So I was like, okay, we'll pay the $18 because I'm not about that full price life. Now, if it's a book that I really want and it's something unique and special about the book, like this cover is stunning. I've never seen this cover before. And so I'm not going to be reading synopsis of these books, okay? And so the next book that was on my wish list is Pride and Prejudice. So like I said, I was or have been drawn to or wanting to read a few classics because I realized that I've only read like a handful of classics, and this book does sound very interesting by Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. Not gonna read the back of the book. It's a classic that most people know, and I want to read it for myself. So I bought Pride and Prejudice, and let me say this one was very inexpensive. For this cover to be as beautiful as it is, it was only, can you see that? $5.97. Okay, your girl got this book, this beautiful paperback. The words are tiny though. Ugh. But anyway, for $6, and I will be reading that hopefully soon. Okay, I don't know when, but I will be reading it soon. And of course I wanted to have that one on my shelf. So the other 3 books were not on my wish list. However, I have seen this book and people talk in general terms about this book, Crime and Punishment. This is by, okay, let me get it right, Fyodor Dostoevsky, something like that. Crime and Punishment. And this one was $6 as well. This is a classic as well. And I want to read this one. Yeah, so I got it. All right, so the next book that was not on my wish list was Uncle Tom's Cabin, for sale here. This is also a classic, and I want to read this book. I've heard of this book, but it's not one that I've thought about until I saw it in Books a Million. And I was very impressed that they do have like a classic section that includes Black books or Black history books, Black authors way back when writing was a crime. Because this book was for a Black person, writing was a crime. This book was published in 1852, even before emancipation, y'all. So I went ahead and got this one because this one was $12, not a bad price for a classic book. So I got that one. And then lastly, I got The Tragedy of Brady Sims, a novel by Ernest J. Gaines. Now, I did a video maybe a month and a half ago about Black authors, Black male authors that I wanted to read from. And I meant to include him. I think I missed him. Shame on me. I did not mean to miss him. Because I do have, I think, one book that he wrote, A Lesson Before Dying. I have that book. It's a classic. It was also in the classic section with this book, but I already have it. But I've never heard about this one. So this is The Tragedy of Brady Sims. And so I went ahead and picked this one up. Now, because I've never heard of this one, and I've never heard any people that I watch who read books like this talk about this book, I'm just going to read the synopsis really quick. So it says, well, it doesn't really have a synopsis, or does it? Okay, it does. So it says, after witnessing Brady Sims' courthouse shooting of a young Black man just convicted of robbery and murder, Cub reporter Lewis of the Something Journal heads to the local barbershop to dig up a human interest story about Sims. Known as the man, in quotes, the man who whipped children, Sims has been a fixture of the small Louisiana town for decades, providing discipline to wayward young Black residents to keep them from a worse fare. Angela, Louisiana's notorious harsh state, oh my God, did I say Angela? Angola. Louisiana's notoriously harsh state penitentiary. Oh, okay, Lord. To wayward, let me start again, y'all. To wayward, Sims has been a fixture of the small Louisiana town for decades, providing discipline to wayward young Black residents to keep them from a worse fate. Angola, Louisiana's notoriously harsh state penitentiary. The barbers and their regulars recall Sims' life story with empathy, sadness, humor, and a profound understanding. Through Gaines's incomparable storytelling, we learn the history of a small bayou town troubled by Jim Crow and the Black community's struggle to survive. This is a very short read. I think he's no longer with us. I don't think he's, I think if he is, I'm gonna cut that part out, y'all. It's a very short read. It's only 114 pages. This one was $16.95, and this is a classic as well, or considered was in their classic section at least. And so I want to read this one. So those are all the books that I bought. It is July 4th. You may hear or have heard some fireworks in the background. So let's check out my work outfit. So I just came back from Academy to exchange some new workout clothes, because the workout clothes that I have, they are kind of old, got stains on them and stuff like that. And so I just kind of wanted to get a few new things. I only got things that were like reasonably priced, because prices have gone up so much, especially on clothes, and pretty much that's all I live in is like workout clothes for the most part, unless I'm going out. So I got this top here. I went and exchanged it for a large, because their stuff, I guess, runs small. I got a medium, which is the standard size I normally would wear. but I guess the girl has gotten a little bigger, okay? And so I went and exchanged it for a large, which is still a nice fit. I like the razor back, kind of, yeah, razor back. So I got this one, and I got a turquoise blue one. Simple, basic, and then I just got a pair of biking shorts with support. So I wanted to get some shorts with tummy control, so I got some biker shorts. These are biker shorts with a little tummy control. So that's what we did when we left Hand and Stone after I got my facial, got my car washed, and I was gonna go to the library, but time kind of like got away from me. And so I only have maybe like an hour and 15 minutes before it's time for me to go to my personal training session. And I just really wanted to come home to change because I had gotten the shirt that I was wearing stained. And so I didn't want to go out like that. So I changed into these clothes. Hey y'all, so I have finished The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. And it's about time because I have dragged this book out all month long. The last clip I made like on July 4th, and it is like almost near the end of the month. And yeah, it is what it is with this book. So what are my final thoughts about this book? I think this book is perfect if you like a story that's light, kind of fluffy, with not a whole lot of depth to it, just kind of on the surface level. The characters, Lily and Nick, Lily really wasn't, you know, a character where there was like character development. It was not anything really going on in her life to sort out other than, you know, being in the right career, which is something I can relate to. Once you settle in your career and you're a certain age, or you're on the brink of turning 30, because she was 26. She was on the brink of turning 30. It was an urgent, I know, matter for me when I went back to get my nursing degree. And after that, everything else fell in place. So I feel like that is where she is in life, but that is pretty much like all that, you know, it's going on in her life. I like Nick more. He had a little bit more depth of his upbringing and how that affected his self-esteem, how he saw himself, how he felt like he could show up for others in his life, like his friends and like a girlfriend. And so he finally kind of began to work through that process at the tail end. So that was good to see. But, you know, as far as a romance, this really was not like a book that was a page turner. It definitely was not, because I just said that I dragged this book out for about 3 weeks reading it, and you know, I could have read it quicker, but I am just not the type of person just to be reading a book just to say I finished it. I didn't want to pick it up, and if, you know, I didn't feel like reading, I didn't. And that's why it took me so long to read this book. But I'm glad that I read this book because I learned a lot about myself. I am not the audience, or this is not my type of romance. Christina Forrest. I have a feeling that her books are all like this, just briefly touching the surface. Not real depth, but like good as palate cleansers or beach reads, meant to be light. But having said that, I didn't hate the book. I didn't hate the book because I did finish the book. But, you know, it wasn't like a book or author based on this book that I'm gonna run out to. So in my opinion, the book was kind of on the mid scale. And so I will not be continuing on with this series. It just did not compel me enough to want to read the book, even though it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't compelling enough. The story just, to me, was kind of convenient because this is the author writing about another author. And I also learned that I really don't care for books talking about books and authors. I think that was just too convenient of a story, but that's just my opinion. or a plot, convenient of a plot. I would recommend this book to certain people who like these types of stories, which many people do. I just thought it was an okay book, nothing that I would want to read again or make me want to continue the series. So those are my thoughts about this book. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your feedback and comment down below. I look forward to reading your comments every time I post a video. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself and doing well. I will see you in the next video. Take care and be blessed.